Hello again everyone. The good folk at Engwe have sent me their Engine X e-bike to review. Now, as is normal with Engwe, the bike came very well packaged, very well protected in a big box, and didn't take me very long at all to unpack it and assemble the bike. Probably took round about 20 minutes from start to finish, and Engwe give you all the tools you need to do the job. And it's really a very well equipped bike. You've got front suspension that you can lock and adjust, and it's got this nice sort of swing arm and shock type rear suspension. It's got its own built-in lights, and the rear light also functions as a brake light. It's got cable operated disc brakes. Now, as you might expect, they're not quite as snappy as the hydraulic brakes on the X24 that we reviewed a little while ago, but they are still perfectly adequate and up to the job. And it's got a very purposeful looking luggage rack on the back, which looks very sturdy and no doubt be very handy. We may well make use of that. Got the fairly typical Shimano 7-speed gears and shift on the handlebar here. And yeah, there's the rear derailleur, which has a nice protector on it, and the chain is coated with this sort of dry lube stuff, which is very good. I've not seen that before, but yeah, a very nice chain lubrication there. Not very messy at all. You can rub your hands on it and don't come away dirty. I wonder if that'll still be the case after a bit of use. Another interesting thing is the key switch to start the bike sort of hangs off the bottom of the crossbar and goes into the battery there, so you sort of ride along with the key dangling out the bottom, but that doesn't seem to have caused me any problems so far. And the display is nice and simple. You just got sort of speed there, power rating there, and how far you've gone. There's a sort of trip meter. Controls here, nice and simple. You've got power on there, plus and minus through the power modes, and then you've got a headlight switch there, and the switch at the top there just takes you through various different menu options, trip meter and stuff. So I fully charged the battery for this test ride. You can take the battery out of the bike to charge it, and I've had this charged in the house, so I'm going to stick it now back in the frame. It goes in this part. You have to unfold the bike to put it in. Now, it is a folding bike, so let's see how easy it is to fold it up and get it in the car. And start by folding the pedals up. You just push them in and flick them over. Then of course you can fold the bike in the middle. Once you've done that, you can flick this lever down, and then the handlebars hold flat as well. There we go. It's a little bit weighty, but it is doable. Now the great thing about the Engine X is that it has a 250 watt rated motor, which puts it within the legal limits to be used as an EAPC, electrically assisted pedal cycle, in the United Kingdom. The assistance is also limited to 15.5 miles an hour, which also fits within those legal requirements. Now it does have an independent twist throttle, but that comes disabled, and it's locked off. It's locked off in the software. You do get the instructions to unlock it, but of course if you do and you use it on a public byway or road, then you are a very naughty person. So a bike like this could actually be very important to me and my way of life, and I'll explain why. Now, as you know, I no longer have a car. Instead I have two very unreliable motorcycles. I have the Suzuki Intruder, which is over 30 years old and needs very careful care, and don't really like taking it out in bad weather. And I have the Triumph Street Triple, which is an insurance write-off ex-track day bike, and has its own temperamental nature. But I wouldn't really want it any other way. But of course, if I didn't have alternative methods of getting to work, I would have to get rid of at least one of them and get something sensible and boring. And whilst I can borrow Nicky's car sometimes, it's going to be very useful to have an alternative method of getting to work, and it's going to be very practical to get to work on this. My commute's only about 15 miles, and turn the power up on this and it's very little effort to get there. So how does this Engine X compare to the other e-bikes that we have? Well, of course, a little while ago we reviewed the Engwe X24, and that's an absolutely fantastic bike, very powerful, real beast of a thing, but of course not able to use it on public roads or byways, so that does rather limit you a bit. It's an absolutely fantastic thing if you have access to land where you can use it, but this is much more practical, and I have to say still has a good amount of power. Don't really feel like it's a big step down from the X24 in terms of my ability to go along tracks like this. Obviously the power doesn't keep going right up to that sort of 30 mile an hour plus speeds that we were getting on the X24, but up to the 15.5 mile an hour it still packs a pretty good punch, and of course it is that much lighter as well. And if you're a regular viewer of the channel, you'll know I do have a rather old now Kalkoff ProConnect 9G electric bike that I bought well over 10 years ago now, I think. And yeah, this feels a lot more powerful than that. That has a much steadier assist, and you really don't notice it coming in. The only time you notice it's an electric bike is if you turn the power off. And it really doesn't assist you as much even on the highest settings. As you may have seen, Nikki whizzes off ahead of me on her little electro front wheel drive bike. And I think this packs all the advantages of that with the rear wheel drive and the fat tyres, which obviously are a big boon on surfaces like this. We're now on a public byway. It is open to vehicle traffic, you can drive your car along here, but yeah, not sure you'd really want to. of course, this isn't quite as stable at speed as the X24. The X24 is very sure-footed, very planted sort of bike. This is a little bit more skittish, being small wheels and the sort of high handlebar, sort of sit up and beg shopper kind of arrangement. But it is still pretty good, you know, off-road like this. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm finding the seat and suspension very comfortable. I think you could quite easily cover long distances on this without too much discomfort, even on bumpy-ish terrain like this. But of course the question you'll want to know is, can you do a skid on it? Absolutely you can. So I think as initial test rides go, this is going very well. I've had no problems at all. The bike has performed flawlessly. It's got a nice quality feel about it. Even the quality of the welding is not bad at all for an e-bike in this price range. So currently this bike retails at £1,049, but you can get a substantial discount off that by using our affiliate link, which will be in the description of this video. So look out for more content featuring this bike on our channel coming up, because I've got a feeling we'll be making quite a bit of use of it. Chaz is going to have the X24 because he's got some land he can access and use that's suitable for that bike. But yeah, I'm keeping hold of this because yeah, this is the sort of thing that I need.